I think sometimes when I unplug my
Yeah.
cable, my system becomes slow. I just unplugged my cable and it becomes slow.
Okay, it's getting hang.
Okay, so I think it's working fine. Okay, so about topic called as collections. Okay. Um, you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, sure. So let's get started. So talking about collections. Now, what are collections? Now, so it's a data structure. Okay, so you have data types. We have discussed about basic data type, right? Like integer, float, your Boolean, string, and logical, right? Complex, Boolean, and complex. So we have five
Yeah.
basic data types. Now, these are your advanced version of data types. Okay, so the difference between them is that basic can store only one value at a time. Okay, but advanced can store multiple values. Okay, so I remember that out of the four we have, out of the five we have done only four, we haven't done string, correct? So before we get into collections, let's talk about strings. Okay, strings, as we know, is used to handle um, used for handling text data, right? So what we have seen is we can use string to have like um, to store like data with single quote, or you can use double quote to have data, right? Okay, and I don't know if I have told you before or not, you can even use triple quote, right, to have the value, to store a string value. Now I can say string 4 equal to triple double quote. Okay. Now you can use single quote, double quote, triple quote, single triple, or double triple. All are valid ways of declaring a string and using a string. Okay. You can obviously say print str1, comma str2, str3, comma str4, and when you run it, let me run it. Okay, you get, fine. And if I have to see the type of data, I can use type. I can say type str1. I can say type str2, str3, str4, right? And str3, and you have str2. Okay, and you run them. Okay, so all of them are string type. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the difference between them? Okay. Is there any difference between them or not? So, if you are using single or double, absolutely no difference between them. Okay. So, single and double have absolutely no difference. Okay. But one thing is, whatever you start with, same thing, uh, you have to close with, right? If you start with single, you can close with single. So if you start with single, you have to close with single. If you start with double, you have to close with double. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, okay. And if you start with double, of course, you have to end with double, right? Okay. Now, between these two, there is no difference. Between triple quotes, there is no difference. Okay.
Okay.
Now, but there is, okay, difference between this and this. Okay, this set and this set. The difference is that with triple quote, you can have values in multiple line. I am fine. I am doing all right. Okay. I am super, and I am here, I am there, I am everywhere, right? So when you run it, you see, okay, here, hello, how are you? I am fine. I'm doing all right. Okay. So when you have triple quote, you can give text data in multiple lines. But when you're using single or double, then you cannot give multiple lines. So if I try to add something else here, okay, it will actually join them together.
Okay.
Right? So when you run them, okay, you see, okay, it has clubbed these two together. Right? But when you have to deal with multi-line text, you have to use triple quote. That is given. Okay. So that is the main difference. Single and double will have only one line of text, but with triple quote, you can have multiple lines of text. Okay. Okay. And okay. So there are some properties that we need to be careful about. Okay. Or we need to know basically. Okay. So the properties are like if I have to add two strings together. So let's say if I use string, I'll say 5 as how are, okay, and I say string 6 as you, okay, and then if I have to add them together, I'll say str5 plus str6. You can add two strings together. You can add two strings together. Now you see, RU, there's no space. Okay, it added them together. So you can give a space here and then add them together. So now you see, okay. Now, so you can add two numbers. You can add two numbers. So 3 plus 2, 5. You can add two strings. So how are you becomes how are you. Okay, they're combining. Okay, it combines them. That's how you can add. You can't add a string to an integer. Okay, if I have to add a string to an integer, I can convert. Okay, so let's say if I say here print hello and I say 5. Okay, now you cannot add a string and a integer. Okay, it gave you error 1. Okay, you can only concatenate string, not integer. So what I can do here, I can say str of 5. I can say str of 5. So now you see this 5 has become string and you can combine them together. Of course, you can have a space here so that you get hello space 5. Okay, so that's called addition property of string. Strings you can also multiply. So I can say hello and I can say into 5. Now, when you multiply, it's like adding 5 times. Multiply means adding 5, 5, that many number of times, right? So you get hello, hello, hello 5 times. You give a space here and, okay, you get 5 times here. All right. So this is how you can even multiply, okay,
Okay.
a string. Okay. Now, you can even use string for your loops, for loop. So if I'm dealing with for loop, so I can say for I in, and I can say str6. Okay. Now, instead of str6, earlier we were using range. And range was a function which used to generate range of values. So if I'm replacing range with string, Doesn't matter, right? For and for I and for in doesn't matter. What matters here is instead of generating 1, 2, 3, 4 or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's generating whatever you have in the string. So how many times, if I say running loop, how many times this loop will run? Loop will run the number of times you have this value here. So it will run 4 times, isn't it? So when you run it, it runs 4 times here. Okay. If you want to see the value of I, you can say comma I. And when you run it, you see, you first it takes Y, then O, then U, then question mark. Okay. So you can use string to iterate through a list also. What else? Okay, so basic properties done. Now, okay, we'll talk about indexing. Okay, indexing is how do you read a part of a string? Okay, so let me write a text here. I'll say str7 equal to I am fine here, let's say. Now, if I need to know the size of this, how many elements are there? LENGTH. So if I need to know how many elements are here, you will say len of str7, right? Len of, okay, this is off, right? Len is a function. So len of str7 will give us the number of elements in string 7, str7. So there are 14 characters here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right? So you get 14 characters. Okay. Now, one thing you have to remember is when I ask you how many elements are there, you'll count, okay, 14 characters. But if I ask you the position of each character, okay, starts from 0, similar to range. Okay, when we don't mention starting position starts from 0, right? Because in Python, the starting value is 0, the starting position is 0. So if I need to know what is the position of capital I, 0, or what is the character at position 0, it is I. So if I have to print the entire stuff, I'll say str7, right? NTR7 will give me the entire stuff. So I'm fine here. But I don't want the entire stuff. I just want the first character. Okay, first character of str7. Okay, so I'll write str7 because I need to know the value of str7. So I'll say str7. And this is followed by square bracket open and close. Okay, and okay, so when you're using simple bracket, okay, when you are using simple bracket, it is like function, isn't it? But if you are using square bracket, it is like you want to read the subset of the values. Now, this is important because whatever we will do from now on, whether it is, we are seeing it in string. After this, we will be doing list, tuple, dictionary, sets. In future, we'll be doing NumPy and pandas. All of them, if you have to do indexing, okay, it is square bracket. Indexing means you are reading a part of the main thing, okay? Whether it is main string, main list, main tuple. And the concept we're going to discuss now is true for entire collection. Okay, it is true for entire collection. So if I need to get first character of str7, I will say 0. 0 will give me the first character. Now, if I want second character, then I should give one, right? Now, if I need to give 13th character or 14th character, I'll say last character. Now, I know the last character, so total is 14. So the position of last character will be 13, right? Total there are 14 characters. So the position of the last character will be 13. So, okay, you get 13. But here we know, okay, but not always we will know, right? So what we can do is we can say len of str7 minus 1. So see, this is your indexing. And within indexing, I'm saying len of str7. So 14, so len will be 14 minus 1. So now if you add anything else here, I'm fine here. How are you there? Right? Even then it will be able to read the last character because the len of str7 will give us the total characters and minus 1 will give us the position of the last character. Okay. So this is how you can get. Now what Python says is, okay, that if you are doing the last character, okay, and for that you are doing len of 7 or the variable and then minus 1, then don't do it like this. If you simply give minus 1, then I will know that you are trying to find the last character. You are trying to find the last character. Okay. So even if you give minus 1, Python knows, okay, minus 1, because, okay, the user wants to get the last character. Okay. So this is how you can have, forward indexing. I call this as forward indexing, where you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have backward indexing also. -1, -2, -3. Okay. So for example, if I have to get the second last character, if I have to get second last character, so it's going to be len -2, right? 14 minus 2, 12. I can simply say -2. So -2 will give us second last character here. Okay, so you can do forward indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till the end, or you can do -1, -2, and the last character will be -14 because 14 characters are there. So it will give you -1, -2, -3. Okay. So now these are to get a single character. If you want to get multiple characters, you can say comma, right? You can say str1, comma, str2, comma, str3 will give us 1, 2, 3. Now, but I want continuous values from str7. I want, let's say, if you go here, okay, where's the str7 here? I want only am. That means I want, or I want fine, let's say. Okay, I want fine. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. 6th character, 7th, 8th, and 9th continuous. 6, 7, 8, 9 continuous. Okay. So when you are getting continuous characters, then you can use colon. Colon is used. Now see, we are seeing the second use of colon. First use of colon we saw on first or second day when we use it to get what? Segregate the value in the formatting. When we had that f string and we use curly bracket, so left of colon was a variable and right of colon was formatting. For text, it did left, right, center alignment. For float, we did number of float spaces, right? How many spaces should be there in the decimal part, right? So we use there. Okay, so this is second use that we're going to see. So I want 6th to 9th characters. Let's say. So 6th character will have a position what? str7. Okay, so the sixth character will have position 5, isn't it? Colon 5,
Yep.
6, 7, 8. So again, remember the range example. In range example, the start value was including. If you said 0, it included 0. If you said 1, it will start with 1. If you said 10, it will start with 10. Okay, I'm saying 5 to start from 5. But the ending was 1 more than what you needed. So if I put in range as range 5, it will generate values only up to 4. So I need 7, 8. Sorry, I need 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 5, 6, 7, 8. So which value should I give here at the ending? 9.
Nine.
So I'm saying up to 9, not including 9, up to 9. Give me the value up to 9. Okay. And this should give us 5. Okay. So this is how you do continuous, okay, continuous, getting the continuous value from the data. Okay. We'll stop here today. Tomorrow we'll meet same